and all your Super Bowl variety of foods ready. And in the meantime, welcome to this week's edition of Deals Revealed, top restaurant news, sales listings, and franchise opportunities from We Sell Restaurants, the nation's largest restaurant brokerage firm. I'm Robin Gagnon.
And I'm Rob Morrison, and we're bringing you the biggest news of the week. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or even join this brand as a franchisee, this is certainly the place to be.
Wow, we just had a Discovery Day yesterday.
Yeah.
Big event. So we're going to cover restaurant news, sales, new listings, insider tips on what's moving in this market. Drop your questions in the comments. We want to answer them live.
And if you're watching live, say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're catching the replay, just type replay so we know that you stopped by.
Okay, let's dive in. You ready?
My favorite part.
Okay, what's happening in the restaurant marketplace? Here are the top insights of the week.
So, what's quietly changing restaurant operations is the question, Robin.
Okay, so here's the thing. Every week we are looking past the headlines, all those screaming ideas about what's going on, and we're focusing on what's actually changing inside restaurants. The kind of changes that affect profitability, buyer confidence, and long-term value.
And the pattern this week at least appears to be clear. Restaurants removing friction everywhere they can, from ordering to staffing, even maintenance.
Yeah, so these aren't future concepts. These are changes that are already showing up in deals, diligence conversations, and buyer questions.
All right, so number one today, restaurants with no front counter at all. You have to explain this one.
Yeah, do you believe it? This one surprises people the most. We're seeing more restaurants designed with absolutely no traditional front counter. No line, no register, no ordering face-to-face.
The guests order through an app, a kiosk, or even a QR code.
I bet it's the young guests.
Yeah, exactly. They're comfortable with that stuff. Food is picked up right from the shelf, delivered to the table, or brought curbside for you.
And so it looks like a design choice, but in reality, it's an operational strategy.
Yeah, think about it. You remove the counter, operators reduce labor pressure immediately, fewer cashiers, fewer training points, and less turnover.
And guess what? The restaurant gets smaller. We shrink the footprint. Smaller spaces equals lower rent and more flexibility in site selection.
And from a buyer perspective, it matters a lot. Buyers are looking for restaurants that are easier to run on day one, fewer people, fewer moving parts, and clearer systems.
And during due diligence, right? What a value story. Predictable flow, documented ordering systems, less dependency on individual or collective employees.
Sure. So not about necessarily removing hospitality, it's about designing hospitality to scale.
And technology, once again, coming into play. So, speaking of technology, let's talk about smart equipment that calls for its own service before it breaks. This is one of the quietest but most powerful changes we are seeing.
That would be so helpful around the house.
Yes.
But sticking to restaurants, equipment is no longer passive, it's actively monitoring itself.
So refrigeration units alert you when those temperatures drift out of the good zone. Fryers flag oil issues. HVAC systems. Oh my gosh, how many July 4th restaurant outages on HVAC systems happen? They report stress before the point of failure.
Very nice. Instead of reacting to a breakdown during a rush, operators can schedule service and maintenance ahead of time.
So what does that change? It's cash flow, uptime, and above all, operator stress levels.
Right, no phone call on the weekend. For buyers, it's a big confidence booster. One of the biggest fears after closing is surprise equipment failure.
So if a seller can show this smart monitoring, service logs, and proactive maintenance, guess what? That risk profile overall drops immediately.
I like it. Also shortens the transition curve. The restaurant helps the new owner manage itself.
So buyers are asking these detailed questions about equipment systems more than ever before. They're not just asking about age. They're not asking about routine maintenance. They're asking about intelligence of your systems.
Wow. All right, we have another one for you. Another insight. AI drive-through is increasing sales without adding any staff. It's moving fast, and it's not just for large brands anymore.
So listen, we've been talking about AI-driven drive-through systems for a while now, but what you don't realize is how much they improve order accuracy, speed, and Upselling. They never forget to ask, do you want fries with that shake?
Yep, the system listens, it confirms, and it prompts consistently every single time.
And that consistency is important. So no skipped questions, no rushed orders, no variability between shifts.
Makes a lot of sense. Operators are seeing higher check averages and shorter order times.
So buyers, this is margin expansion for them without complexity. Same staff levels, better output.
And for sellers, it strengthens the narrative. You're not selling a hustle, you're selling a system that performs.
And that is what today's buyers want. Systems that scale, reduce stress, and protect the profitability overall. When you step back and think about it, all these insights, Rob, they're pointing to the same thing. Restaurants are being built to be more predictable, more efficient, and easier to manage and transfer.
And that's exactly what creates value in today's market.
So, if you're buying, selling, or watching where the industry is going, these are some signs to pay attention to.
All right, so those are the insights. Now to the top listings. We want to talk about opportunities that span from Florida to North Carolina and Arkansas, and all representing three very different paths into restaurant ownership, from asset-rich second-generation spaces to expansion-ready operating businesses at very low-cost entry points.
Okay, so the connection point, flexibility. Each one offers a buyer a different way to enter or expand in the industry based on experience level, capital, growth, goals.
Turnkey businesses or service-ready spaces with strong fundamentals in place. So the first one is listing 34931. It's in Fort Myers, Florida, represented by Dave Whitcomb. Fully built second-generation restaurant for sale, listed at $199,000. Positioned for a fast opening without the delays and expense of new construction. It's about 2,000 square feet, seating for 50 inside and patio seating to boot, free parking, and an existing beer and wine license to support higher check averages. The kitchen is outfitted for volume with a commercial hood system, a grease trap, 6-burner range, fryer, refrigeration, prep tables, smallwares, and a POS system already in place. The front of the house includes tables, chairs, bar seating, even entertainment equipment.
Ooh, that's a good add-on.
I don't know, maybe it's a guitar or something. The rent is approximately $3,200 a month, and existing operating hours and seller training is included. It's a true plug-in opportunity in one of Florida's fastest growing markets.
Okay, we're going to move now to Cary, North Carolina, listing 34734. It's represented by Paul Peterson and listed at $449,000. Sales, get this, $1.4 million.
That's nice.
And you know what? They know how to do barbecue right in North Carolina, and this is a barbecue bar and grill for sale. Sits in sought-after Wake County, full liquor license, big patio, strong dine-in and bar setup inside, all within 2,800 square feet. What makes this listing stand out, according to Paul, is the additional revenue infrastructure. You've got food trucks, catering vehicles, smokers, all that stuff men love, and equipment that supports festivals, corporate catering, and off-premise sales. With a new lease available, manageable rent, and seller training included, this opportunity is ideal for a buyer looking to scale beyond the four walls of the restaurant.
I do like North Carolina barbecue.
Yeah, it's good. It's sweet or vinegar?
Well, I think it's more vinegary.
Okay.
I mean, they're all great, but I do like that Carolina. All right, the final one is listing 34869, and it's in Fayetteville, Arkansas, represented by Team Tyson. It's a turnkey coffee shop for sale. It's listed at $99,000. Offers a rare opportunity that's under six figures. It operates out of approximately 1,000 square feet, 30 indoor seats, 15 patio seats, favorable lease at under $2,000 a month, and a 5.0 Google rating. That's rare.
Very rare.
Wow, it reflects strong local support. Large new apartment community is being built next door, creating built-in demand and growth potential. Equipment's in place, low overhead, and seller training is included. This listing works well for an owner-operator seeking a simple and efficient model with room to expand.
I love it. So if any one of these listings caught the eye or ears of our customers that are listening, type the listing number in the comments or click Get Complete Package on our website for full details. Our certified restaurant workers are ready to walk you through the financials, operations, and next steps to determine which opportunity best aligns with your ownership goals.
All right, let's talk about sellers now.
Okay.
A few things that they'll be interested in. Catches many sellers off guard. This one, buyers not just excited by upside or growth projections. What's really pulling them in is a sense that the business is under control and stays that way, even during rush hour.
Yeah, you know, it's that feeling when buyers walk into a restaurant that feels steady and organized and intentional. They're going to relax. And when that energy feels rushed or worse yet, reactive, strong financials start to feel somewhat fragile.
The sense of control shows up in subtle ways, the way the team moves during a rush, how issues are handled without drama, whether the operation keeps its rhythm when something unexpected happens.
Ever been in a restaurant when a waitress drops a tray full of food?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, the unexpected. Buyers pay attention to the floor long before they dig into the reports. It's the first thing we tell customers to do. Go and experience this as a customer. So they want to see a business that functions smoothly without the owner having to be everywhere at once or running around putting out fires.
One of the biggest concerns buyers have is stepping into a business that only works because the owner is running at full speed every single day.
That doesn't feel like opportunity. That feels like inheriting a lot of pressure.
Buyers also respond strongly to predictability. They trust businesses where days look familiar, shifts run similarly, and answers sound consistent instead of dramatic.
I'm so glad you had to say similarly. That's a tough one. When sellers can say things like this, it's a typical week for us, or this is how we usually handle that situation. Buyers make assumptions. This operation is well managed.
Another thing that surprises some sellers is how much buyers respect restraint. Clear boundaries around hours, menus, and priorities signal confidence, not limitation.
It shows that the business has been shaped intentionally, right, rather than stretched in every direction.
So the real takeaway is simple.
Yeah, we're not selling excitement or hustle.
We're selling a business that works without constant heroics.
And that sense of stability, it's what allows buyers to imagine growth instead of worrying about what could break.
That's funny, right? We don't need a hero.
That's
We just
right.
need something that's pretty standard and operates. All right, so here's something buyers are often overlooking at first. The best restaurants are not the ones that feel impressive on a tour. They're the ones that feel easy to take over.
So when you walk into a business and immediately understand how the day is going to unfold, your brain relaxes. You can picture ownership without wondering what happens next.
Strong opportunities tend to explain themselves. You can see how orders flow, how the team communicates, and how decisions get made without needing a long explanation from the seller.
And that ease matters because ownership, it's not about the first month. It's about how the business feels on a normal Tuesday when nothing special is happening.
Buyers who move confidently pay attention to how many decisions the business demands each day. Fewer daily decisions usually means fewer surprises.
Yeah, we always tell them in the process, no surprises. When menus, vendors, staffing patterns, and routines are dialed in, your energy can go toward improving the business instead of keeping it upright.
Another overlooked signal is how the business handles quiet moments.
The opposite of that tray
That's
crashing.
right. If you got time to lean, you get time to clean. Does the business handle these quiet moments? Does it stay organized? Does it drift into confusion when the volume drops?
Yeah, super important point because restaurants that hold their shape during slow periods will scale better than during the busy times.
All right, so here are the key takeaways today for buyers.
Don't just ask how big the opportunity could become.
Ask how the business behaves when nothing changes. That answer tells you whether growth will feel like progress or pressure.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about sold listings that had all of those attributes associated with them. So this week we're highlighting a successful restaurant sale in North Georgia. It reinforces a familiar theme. Preparation, professionalism, and realistic expectations drive strong outcomes for buyers and sellers.
All right, our featured sold restaurant takes us to Ball Ground, Georgia. Wow, a well-positioned restaurant sold successfully to a seasoned multi-unit operator who recognized the value of stepping into a fully equipped turnkey operation with growth potential.
So this is an interesting story because the seller came from a food truck and catering background. So he made a strategic decision to sell the brick and mortar location in order to focus on just those things that were outside the store itself. So clear goals from him and really on both sides helped the process move forward.
A great story. What made the deal especially attractive to the buyer was the combination of a strong location and high quality equipment that was in place. It allowed the new owner to minimize startup costs and focus immediately on growing the sales.
Okay, one of our favorites, it was represented by Paul Rogers with We Sell Restaurants Georgia Northwest. Paul noted that, listen, multiple roadblocks came up during the process. That's part of the process. But both parties stayed professional, realistic, and solution focused from start to finish.
And consistent communication, mutual respect between the buyer and seller made a big difference, Paul says. That cooperation allowed challenges to be addressed efficiently and kept the transition right on track.
And so then what happens after this great outcome? The buyer shared some positive feedback on Google for sharing all that wonderful review, noting that clear expectations, thoroughness, and Paul's long history in the restaurant industry helped ensure everyone's needs were understood and met.
And the closing, always a great reminder that successful restaurant sales are rarely about luck. They're about positioning the business properly, working with experienced representation like Paul, and staying engaged through every step of the process.
Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to Central Florida. We're going to talk about how this listing highlights clarity, preparation, and the right buyer vision, which turns a challenging situation into a successful closing.
All right. The featured listing is confirming a restaurant resale. This one, Orlando, Florida. The previous owners came from outside the restaurant industry and ultimately decided it was just time for them to move on. One seller transitioned into working at a family salon. The other pursued schooling in the healthcare field.
All right, so they had an exit strategy. So for them, looking at where they wanted to go for the future, the business was no longer the right long-term fit. But it didn't mean that it lacked value. The opportunity really appealed to buyers looking for a turnkey space where they can move quickly and execute on a new concept.
And the buyer, recently relocated from Philadelphia, had been extremely active in that market. In fact, she purchased 2 restaurants through We Sell Restaurants in the month of January alone, and plans to continue the spending spree.
I love it. We don't get that many multi-packs over and over. She saw this location, though, as the perfect foundation to bring her Thai food concept to life in Orlando, with plans to grow into multiple locations over time.
And the deal was represented by Deborah and Samantha Sawyer with We Sell Restaurants, Orlando, Kissimmee, and Sanford. And their hands-on guidance helped move the deal smoothly from pricing strategy through negotiations and on to closing.
So the seller shared this testimonial again through our Google community. The communication was clear, professional, and timely throughout the entire process. She said every concern was addressed and the transaction stayed well organized from start to finish.
That makes sense with Deb and Samantha. The buyer echoed the sentiment, highlighting Samantha's dedication and commitment to going beyond expectations across multiple transactions.
I love it. So this listing, it's a great example on how the right representation can help sellers exit confidently, help buyers step into opportunities that align with their vision. So when you look at the 2 listings side by side, right, the common threads are real and very clear. True expectations, clear communications, thoughtful preparation, all created successful outcomes in 2 very different situations.
So whether it's a seasoned operator stepping into a growth opportunity or a new owner bringing a fresh concept to a new market, both closings showed the value of working with experienced brokers who understand the details that matter.
Okay, strong representation helped those sellers move on confidently and buyers step forward with clarity. That's what keeps transactions moving and protects value on both sides.
Great reminder that selling a restaurant, not just about finding a buyer, it's about positioning the business properly, staying engaged, and working with professionals who know how to navigate the process from beginning to end.
All right, so now we're going to transition to hot new listings. You ready? Talk about those listings?
Every week we have new listings.
All right, these are some new ones with heat behind them. It's a segment you've been waiting for. These are businesses hitting the market with strong positioning, built-in demand, and clear paths for the right buyers to step in and grow.
And what separates these opportunities is readiness. These listings are designed for buyers who want infrastructure, proven models, and locations that already generate traffic and visibility.
Yeah, our guys don't want startups. Our top new hot listing is 34481 in Minnesota, represented by Scott Ruby, listed at $599,000. It's a high-traffic, multi-brand franchise location. So you've got 3 nationally recognized treat and smoothie brands all operating out of a brand new build-out completed in 2024. Sits in a busy strip mall with excellent visibility, consistent foot traffic. It's ideal for impulse purchases, and yeah, those are definitely impulse purchases. Repeat guests come in throughout the day, and what makes it unique is the multi-brand model. So they're capturing demand from morning smoothies and healthy options to the afternoon and evening desserts. I don't know if that's exactly healthy, the dessert part. With 8 years remaining on the lease, franchise training and support from a national brand, an easy-to-operate structure, this is a strong fit for an owner-operator or an experienced buyer looking to expand with reduced concept risk. It's truly turnkey, modern infrastructure, strong brand recognition, and built-in customers from day one.
We all start out the day with great intentions.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, we're grabbing an ice cream cone. All right, the next listing is 34601. It's in Jackson County, Missouri, represented by Tony Maselli, listed at $535,000. It's a high-performing pizza restaurant. It's for sale with a liquor license, delivering verified sales of just under $1 million and an owner benefit of approximately $183,000. The restaurant operates out of approximately 2,900 square feet, has seating for 85 guests.
Whew, that's big.
Yeah, and a strong bar presence, powerful takeout and delivery mix, supported by abundant parking. The lease there runs through 2034, and additional options are available. And the business does qualify for SBA lending with as little as 15% down for approved buyers. Fully equipped operation includes a deck oven, full cook line, Toast POS system, multiple ordering monitors and TVs throughout, supporting consistent execution during peak periods with clean books, established systems, and a trained team in place. It's a bank-friendly opportunity designed for a smooth ownership transition and immediate cash flow.
Sounds like exactly what someone wants. So if any of these hot new listings caught your attention, type the listing number in the comments or click Get Complete Package on our website for full details. Our certified restaurant brokers are ready to walk you through the financials, operations, and next steps to determine if the timing and fit are right. Going to tell us about some testimonials?
Yes, indeed. This is the segment we love every week, highlights something we value deeply at We Sell Restaurants, that results matter, but how those results are achieved matters even more.
Right. Every transaction represents a real decision point for someone's business, and that means their future. When clients share their experience, it gives insight into what the process actually feels like from their side of the table.
All right, so we're going to start in Marietta and Cumming, Georgia, where Vikram shared this experience working with Marcus during the sale of his restaurant.
Okay, tell it to us.
All right. Vikram said, I had a great experience working with Marcus, my agent, during the sale of my restaurant. He was extremely professional, diligent, and patient throughout the entire process. He took the time to understand my requirements, guided me through every step, and always kept me informed. His expertise and dedication made what could have been a stressful process smooth and successful. I truly appreciate his hard work and would highly recommend him to anyone looking to buy or sell a business.
Wow. Strong accolades there. Okay, next we hear from Andrea Hill, who worked with Paul Rogers at We Sell Restaurants Georgia Northwest during the sale of her coffee shop. Here's what she said. We had an incredible experience working with Paul Rogers at We Sell Restaurants. From start to finish, Paul was tremendously informative, professional, and supportive through every step of selling our coffee shop. He took the time to explain the process clearly, answered every question with patience, and truly had our best interests at heart. What could have been an overwhelming process was handled smoothly and efficiently, and Paul tied everything together seamlessly in the end. We couldn't have asked for a better experience or a better broker to guide us through such an important transition. Highly recommend.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Whether it's a seller trusting us to protect what they built or a buyer stepping into ownership, these experiences reflect the standards we hold ourselves to every single day.
Professionalism, responsiveness, genuine care for the people behind every transaction.
We're so grateful to the clients who share their stories and proud of the brokers who consistently deliver those experiences worth talking about. All right, franchise opportunities now. Just imagine joining We Sell Restaurants. Just yesterday, as Robin mentioned, we hosted...
earlier in the week on Tuesday.
That's right. That's right. I get my days mixed up. We hosted a Discovery Day, and it's always one of the clearest windows into how this brand actually operates.
So Discovery Day is so interesting. It's not a presentation. It's this working session where people step into real conversations and see how decisions are handled when the stakes are high.
Prospective franchise partners are not just hearing about the business, they're watching how deals are evaluated and how buyers are qualified and how structure guides every single step.
Yeah, it's also very clear this is a two-way process. We're not just seeing if someone wants to join the brand. We're assessing whether they are a fit to represent it well.
And this week's Discovery Day highlighted something important. This business is built on preparation and judgment and follow-through, not shortcuts or pressure.
You see how much work happens before a listing ever reaches the market. We talk about valuation, positioning, and buyer alignment, all the things that happen long before the marketing exists.
And Discovery Day also reveals the culture behind the system, focused, thoughtful, serious about outcomes, but grounded in real restaurant experience.
Yeah, by the end of the day, people are not asking how fast they can grow.
No, they're asking whether this is the kind of work they want to be known for in their market.
And that's what Discovery Day represents before the We Sell Restaurants brand. It's clarity before commitment.
Very nice. All right. What we're doing every day, we're out there, we're talking to the franchise brands. We're a franchise, so we speak the same language. And franchise resales are one of the few moments where a brand gets honest feedback without asking for it.
Yeah, so what happens when a unit changes hands, everything's tested at one time. Systems, communication, expectations, support, even culture.
Learn quickly whether the brand can absorb change without wobbling.
Oh, that makes me think of a Weeble Wobble. Strong brands treat resales like a live stress test. They watch where questions slow things down, where approvals stack up, and where clarity either shows up or disappears.
And what's interesting is that buyers notice different things than sellers ever did. They see onboarding gaps, training assumptions, processes that only work if someone already knows the answers.
So that perspective is so valuable for the brands that are willing to listen.
We're seeing more franchisors use resales as a mirror, not to assign blame, but to sharpen the system overall.
Yes, and every clean transition tells the network something powerful. This brand can change owners without chaos.
And every messy transition sends a message too, whether the brand intends it or not.
So that's why the smartest brands are intentional about who steps in, how knowledge transfers, and how visible support is during the handoff.
Resales also reveal leadership tone. Is the brand reactive or prepared? Is guidance clear or improvised?
So when brands handle resales well, have a partner like We Sell Restaurants, confidence spreads. Existing franchisees, they feel protected. New buyers feel supported. Lenders feel comfortable leaning in.
So here's a real takeaway for franchise brands.
A resale is not just an exit or an entry.
It's a live demonstration of how the brand operates when something important changes.
And brands that treat that moment with intention end up stronger every single time.
That wraps it up.
I can't believe it.
It's already the end of the week.
This week's top sales, listings, franchise opportunities. We went through a lot.
We always do.
Yeah. So if you're out there thinking of buying, selling, or experiencing a career in restaurant brokerage, look us up. We'd love to help.
Great deals move quickly, so click the link in the comments or visit WeSellRestaurants.com to learn more.
If you enjoyed today's show, hit that thumbs up button. Share it with someone interested in restaurant ownership.
Follow our page so you never miss a new listing. We'll be back next Friday with more updates.
All right. Have a great weekend, and remember, our name says it all.
We sell restaurants.